humanity has been blessed with the incredible power of free will, enabling us to make choices that have a profound impact on our lives and the world we live in. Every choice we make has consequences that affect not only ourselves, but also those around us. It's important to remember the impact our decisions can have. In the vast expanse of the universe, where natural laws reign supreme, free will emerges as a fascinating exception. It grants us the extraordinary ability to break free from predetermined paths and shape our own futures. There is a duality to our freedom, as we have the ability to choose between good and evil. This duality is where our character is shaped and our souls are put to the test. In this book, we will take a journey to delve into the concept of free will, exploring its limits, consequences, and ultimate significance. We will explore the relationship between choice and fate, considering how our decisions influence our future while recognizing the influence of a higher power. Lesson 1. One of the greatest gifts that God has given us is free will. Few things are as important as free will in the human experience. This concept is fundamental to our understanding of consciousness and self-awareness. It gives us a sense of control and purpose, distinguishing us from instinct driven creatures and predetermined outcomes. We have the ability to shape our own destinies and make choices that impact our lives and the world around us. With free will, we are active participants in the unfolding of our existence. In order to fully grasp the significance of this gift, we need to have a clear understanding of the concept of free will. This phenomenon stands out as an extraordinary exception in a universe that operates according to natural laws and predetermined forces. It represents a unique source of influence that goes beyond the limits of cause and effect. We, as humans, possess a unique ability to think, reflect, and make choices that go beyond our immediate situations and predetermined paths. Unlike other creatures who rely solely on instinct and external stimuli, our freedom to make choices and go against predetermined paths gives our existence a deep sense of purpose and meaning. If we didn't have free will and the ability to make meaningful choices, our lives would just be a predetermined sequence of events, lacking any real agency or consequence. Our lives gain depth and significance when we make decisions and actively participate in the world around us. It's about exercising our will and weighing our options. However, free will goes beyond being a complex concept or an abstract idea. It is a real and powerful force that becomes evident in the countless choices and pivotal moments that shape our lives. Every day, we encounter decisions that may seem ordinary, but have the power to shape our lives and the lives of those around us. Whether it's a small choice in our daily routines or a significant crossroad in our careers, relationships, or personal development, we have the chance to exercise our free will and make choices that will have a lasting impact. Let's think about the decision to follow a specific career path, for example. Although the idea of achieving financial stability and professional fulfillment is appealing, it's important to consider the potential drawbacks and compromises that come with it. This includes the possibility of working long hours, making personal sacrifices, and facing the risk of burnout or disillusionment. On the other hand, choosing to focus on personal growth or artistic pursuits can bring creative fulfillment, but it also comes with the potential challenges of financial insecurity and societal pressure. Another option to consider is entering into a romantic relationship. Although love and companionship can be appealing, they also come with the risk of heartbreak, emotional turmoil, and the need to navigate the complexities of compromise and sacrifice that healthy relationships require. In these moments of decision, the true magnitude and accountability of free will become apparent. Every decision we make and every path we choose has a ripple effect that reaches beyond our own lives. Our choices have far-reaching effects, influencing the lives of others and shaping the world we live in. This interconnectedness we share, this intricate web of cause and effect, makes our free will more than just a personal matter. It becomes a collective responsibility, urging us to approach our choices with reverence and wisdom. The true value of free will is revealed when we navigate the potential consequences and implications of our decisions. Choosing shapes us, not just the outcomes. It's about taking control of our lives, making our own decisions, and accepting the risks and uncertainties that come with free will. Free will is seen as more than just a gift. It is a sacred trust that requires us to develop the strength of character, moral fortitude, and wisdom needed to navigate the many choices and crossroads we encounter in life. It is a journey that asks us to acknowledge our biases and limitations, to embrace self-reflection and personal growth, and to stay alert against complacency and the temptation of taking the easy way out. The gift of free will comes with challenges and temptations that can steer us away from doing what is right and morally upright. We have the freedom to choose between light and darkness, between embracing the shadows of selfishness, cruelty, and indifference that exist within us. This perpetual duality, the ongoing battle between our loftier aspirations and our more primal instincts, gives the gift of free will immense weight and meaning. However, it is through this constant effort to make choices that reflect our highest values and wisdom that we develop the inner strength and moral understanding needed to fully appreciate the freedom of choice. In order to exercise our agency, we must consistently choose to resist the temptation of taking the easy path. This means committing ourselves to the challenging journey of aligning our actions with the principles of righteousness and compassion. The gift of free will goes beyond being just a personal matter. It is a sacred duty and a responsibility that reaches beyond our own lives. Every decision we make and every path we choose to take can have far-reaching effects on the lives of many, both in ways that are obvious and those that are not immediately apparent. Performing a kind act, driven by empathy and compassion, has the power to inspire and uplift others, creating a ripple effect of positivity in our communities. On the other hand, a decision driven by self-interest or cruelty, fueled by apathy or resentment, can have a negative impact on the world, leading to ongoing cycles of pain and suffering. Recognizing our deep interconnectedness and the impact of our choices on both our own lives and the world around us, we discover the true essence of free will. By embracing this responsibility and committing ourselves to using our agency for the greater good, we can elevate ourselves beyond our physical existence and tap into our true potential as conscious beings. We need to see the gift of free will as a sacred trust and a profound opportunity to contribute to creating a world that is fair, compassionate, and aligned with our highest ideals of human potential and spiritual truth. In the crucible of our choices, as we navigate the risks and consequences of our free will, we have the power to shape the fabric of our collective experience by weaving threads of light and hope. Ultimately, the gift of free will serves as a powerful reminder of the great responsibility and potential that accompany our ability to make choices that impact our lives and the world we live in. It's important to fully understand and appreciate the impact of our choices. We should approach each decision with respect and modesty and strive to always align our actions with virtuous, wise, and spiritually true principles. It is important to use our free will to serve the greater good and bring out the best in ourselves. By doing so, we can help create a world that is filled with beauty, wonder, and love. Lesson 2. If a thing is free to be good, it is also free to be bad, and free will is what has made evil possible. The duality of good and evil is a complex aspect of our existence that deeply impacts us. It serves as the origin of humanity's greatest achievements and deepest disappointments, propelling us towards both success and downfall. Every act of selflessness and heroism has an equal potential for greed and cruelty. Every noble pursuit has its dark counterpart, every source of hope its corresponding pit of despair. The ability to choose between light and darkness is what has allowed evil to exist in our world. Evil is not some separate force, but rather the result of our own free will gone wrong, of choices driven by selfish desires and base impulses. It is the result of our free will, the consequence of our ability to go against the divine plan and choose a different path. Throughout the course of human history, we have seen the destructive consequences of evil, the extent to which our species can descend when free will is used without wisdom or compassion. Those who have given in to their inner darkness have caused wars, genocides, and unimaginable atrocities due to their pursuit of power, hatred, and greed. Despite the immense suffering and pain caused by evil, it is an inevitable consequence of free will. Without the freedom to make mistakes, our choices would be meaningless, predetermined paths with no real impact or accountability. The weight and significance of our choices are derived from the presence of temptation and the allure of the forbidden. Furthermore, by actively resisting evil and consistently making virtuous choices, we not only demonstrate our free will, but also enhance its power. If virtue were the only option and goodness were the default state, our choices would lack significance or importance. The existence of a counteracting force and the constant risk of falling into darkness give our decisions weight and make our victories truly heroic. Our souls are tested and our characters are forged in this crucible of free will. Every decision we make and action we take molds our identity. Are we able to face the challenges of temptation and adversity with bravery and honesty, or do we stumble and give in to the allure of selfishness and vice? The weight of this responsibility is significant, as our choices have a profound impact on not only our own lives, but also the lives of countless others. Every act of kindness and selfless deed has the power to create a ripple effect, impacting the lives of strangers in ways we may never fully understand. On the other hand, any self-centered action or choice to indulge in negativity can have a negative impact on the world. However, the duality of our nature, with its ability to encompass both good and evil, gives our existence a deep sense of meaning and purpose. Without free will, we would be like mindless machines, lacking the power to make our own decisions and face the outcomes. Choosing light over darkness is what lifts us beyond mere physical existence. It's a matter of exercising our willful determination and engaging in a constant struggle. Evil is not something that can be completely eliminated, but rather serves as a necessary counterpart to the presence of free will. It's always there, tempting us and reminding us of the weight of our decisions. It's crucial to use our free will wisely and with kindness. The cultivation and strengthening of our free will comes from the constant struggle against evil and the unwavering commitment to choose righteousness in the face of temptation. Whenever we resist the temptation of selfishness and opt for kindness instead of cruelty, we strengthen our character and bolster our determination. It is important to acknowledge that evil should not be embraced or celebrated, as its consequences are undoubtedly devastating. The tragic consequences of people embracing darkness serve as a stark reminder of how humanity can descend into darkness when free will is used without wisdom or compassion. Instead, it is important to recognize that evil is intertwined with the very nature of existence, a natural consequence of having free will. Without the freedom to make mistakes, our choices would be meaningless, predetermined paths with no real impact or accountability. We need to see the presence of evil in our world as a constant reminder of the weight and significance of our choices, rather than something abnormal or to be eliminated. Every act of cruelty and embrace of darkness serves as a powerful reminder of the significance of using our free will responsibly and wisely. It reminds us to choose the path of righteousness and resist the temptation that may come our way. Choosing light over darkness is a constant struggle that helps us cultivate and strengthen our free will. Whenever we resist the temptation to be selfish and instead choose to be kind, we strengthen our character and strengthen our character and strengthen our determination. Our souls are tested and our characters are forged in this crucible of free will. In order to truly exercise our free will, we must constantly battle against the forces of darkness that try to corrupt and sway us from the path of righteousness. People who have given in to malevolence, who have made the decision to accept the darkness within them, act as reminders of the severe outcomes that can occur when free will is used without prudence or empathy. Although their actions are morally reprehensible, they are an inevitable result of free will. Without the capacity to choose to do wrong, our choices would lack genuine agency and meaningful consequences. Despite the immense pain and suffering caused by evil, it serves as a necessary counterpart to the presence of free will. By consistently resisting temptation and choosing the path of light, we can develop and enhance our strong determination. Evil serves as a constant reminder of the weight and significance of our choices, rather than something to be eliminated. Every act of cruelty and embrace of darkness serves as a powerful reminder of the significance of using our free will responsibly and wisely. It reminds us to choose the path of righteousness and resist the temptation that may come our way. We need to see the presence of evil in our world as a necessary consequence of free will, rather than something abnormal or to be completely eliminated. Without the freedom to make mistakes, our decisions would be mere illusions, predetermined routes lacking real autonomy or impact. Ultimately, our choices define us and our determinations shape our essence. Do we face the challenges of temptation and adversity with bravery and honesty, or do we stumble, giving in to selfishness and vice? We have the power to choose. And it is by freely making these choices that we develop the inner strength and moral courage to do what is right, even when faced with difficult situations. The presence of evil is a sad truth that comes with the freedom to make choices. It serves as a constant reminder of how crucial our decisions are. Choosing the right path and resisting temptation helps us develop our free will and shape our characters, allowing us to reach our full potential. Lesson 3. You are free to choose what you want to make of your life. Since she was young, Luna has always felt a strong desire for a more fulfilling and independent life. Throughout her childhood, she consistently adhered to the expectations set by her parents, teachers, and society. However, as she journeyed through young adulthood, a relentless passion ignited within her. The traditional path of attending college, securing a corporate job, and starting a family no longer felt relevant. The world was full of possibilities, calling her to venture out, imagine, and create her own path. She experienced her first taste of freedom when she made the choice to take a gap year after high school in order to travel. Luna defied her parents and purchased a one-way ticket to Thailand, packing only the bare necessities in a worn-out backpack. Her months spent in Buddhist monasteries, beachside bungalows, and immersing herself in new cultures ignited a deep, instinctual awakening. After coming back home, Luna realized she couldn't continue following the path that society had set for her. She changed her major multiple times during college, but finally found her true calling in environmental conservation. Upon completing her studies, she declined well-paying job opportunities in the oil industry and opted for an entry-level role at a nonprofit organization dedicated to preserving rainforests. Throughout the next decade, Luna's life was filled with one exciting adventure after another. During her time in the Amazon, she dedicated herself to leading sustainable development initiatives with indigenous tribes, residing on a secluded river for a span of 2 years. She experienced numerous cycles of love, immersing herself in each intense relationship without hesitation. Luna eagerly seized a new opportunity in Borneo, embarking on her most ambitious expedition yet. To protect the endangered orangutan habitats, she rapidly emerged as a prominent figure in her industry, gaining admiration from experienced professionals for her unwavering determination and innovative ideas. With every new experience and bold decision she made by following her heart's desires, Luna became increasingly connected to her authentic self. She had broken free from the constraints of societal expectations, choosing to embrace the thrilling and liberating experience of crafting her own path in life. Now in her 40s, Luna has explored numerous rainforests, accumulating countless exhilarating adventures along the way. Her strong dedication to living life on her own terms had taken her to incredible places and given her unforgettable experiences that she never could have anticipated when she was younger, and she wouldn't have wanted it any other way. Luna felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude and fulfillment as she watched the orangutans she adored playing in the lush Bornean canopy. This was her life's mission, not only safeguarding these extraordinary creatures, but also being a humble example and source of inspiration for embracing a meaningful existence. Luna has flourished into her true and vibrant self through the initially daunting but ultimately liberating choices she made. She fearlessly embraced risks and explored unconventional paths, creating her life's masterpiece with her own choices. At that moment, Luna felt a deep sense of contentment as she watched the orangutans gracefully swinging from branch to branch. It was a sight that brought warm tears to her eyes, reminding her of why she wouldn't trade this experience for anything else. The idea that we have the freedom to shape our lives is a deep and empowering truth, giving us a sense of control and the ability to make our own choices. This concept challenges the common beliefs of predestination and fatalism, emphasizing that we have control over our own destinies through the power of free will. In order to truly grasp the significance of this truth, we need to first have a clear understanding of the concept of free will. This phenomenon stands out as an unusual occurrence in a universe that operates under consistent laws and predetermined forces. We, as humans, possess a unique ability to think, reflect, and make decisions that shape our own lives, unlike any other creature in the world. This sense of autonomy and self-directed volition allows us to transcend mere automatons and become active agents in shaping our own destinies. The power to choose the direction of our lives is what defines our humanity. Without free will, our existence would be reduced to a predetermined sequence of events, lacking agency or consequence. Our lives gain purpose and meaning through the exercise of our willful determination. the constant weighing of options, and the enactment of decisions. However, the concept of free will is not just something theoretical or abstract. It is a real force that shows itself in the many choices and decisions we face in our lives. Every day, we make choices that impact our lives, from the small decisions we make in our daily routines to the big ones that shape our careers, relationships, and personal growth. These choices give us the chance to exercise our free will and determine the paths we will take. The ability to make choices can be both exciting and overwhelming, as it requires us to take charge of our own futures. We can no longer attribute the state of our lives to external forces or predetermined circumstances. Instead, we must acknowledge that our choices and determinations shape our present and future selves. The true power of free will is revealed in the crucible of choice. Every decision we make and path we choose comes with a variety of potential outcomes, each with its own set of challenges, rewards, and consequences. Deciding on a career path can have different outcomes. It can bring financial stability and professional satisfaction, or it can lead to disappointment and disillusionment. Entering into a romantic relationship can lead to a lifetime of love and companionship, or it can result in heartbreak and emotional turmoil. However, the unpredictability and potential for different outcomes make our choices incredibly meaningful. Choosing is not just about picking a predetermined path. It's about shaping our existence and weaving the tapestry of our lives through our decisions. As we make our way through these many options, we are not only influencing our external circumstances, but also shaping our very identity. Every decision we make, every action we take reflects our values, priorities, and deepest desires. Should we prioritize personal growth and spiritual fulfillment, or opt for the path of ambition and material success? Do we choose to be brave and honest when faced with challenges, or do we give in to fear and make compromises? Our identities are shaped by the continuous exercise of free will, as we make choices and act upon them. This process helps us develop strength of character and moral fortitude. The act of making choices has a profound impact on who we become. It is a powerful expression of our desire to take control of our lives and forge our own paths. However, the influence of free will reaches far beyond the scope of our personal existence. Every decision we make and every path we choose has the power to affect the lives of others, sometimes in significant ways, and sometimes in more subtle ways. One small act of kindness or generosity has the power to inspire others and create a chain reaction of positivity in our communities. On the other hand, a decision that lacks consideration for others can have a negative impact on their lives, causing ongoing pain and suffering. The choices we make have a significant impact on our societies and the world as a whole. We are all connected, our lives intertwined by the choices we make and the resulting consequences. However, despite the importance of our choices, it's crucial to acknowledge that having the freedom to choose doesn't mean we should indulge in hedonism or selfishness. Instead, it is a profound duty, a task that requires us to use our freedom wisely, with kindness and a profound respect for how our decisions affect ourselves and others. Although we have the freedom to determine the direction of our lives, we must also accept the outcomes that result from our decisions. Every choice we make and every path we take has a profound impact on the world, shaping it in ways that are both visible and hidden. We need to look at the power of free will from a certain perspective, not as a way to do whatever we want, but as a chance to develop our character, moral courage, and wisdom in order to make choices that improve both ourselves and the world. It is important to remember that our freedom to make choices comes with a responsibility to choose between good and evil. We have the freedom to choose between embracing kindness, compassion, and personal growth, or indulging in selfishness, cruelty, and stagnation. The constant tension and temptation to stray from the path of righteousness make our choices incredibly significant. In our journey of free will, true exercise comes not from the absence of temptation, but from the constant struggle to resist darkness and embrace the path of light. We develop our character and gain wisdom by making choices that align with our values and morals. This helps us use our free will in a noble and purposeful way. The freedom to choose what we want to make of our lives is not just a personal preference or individual whim. It is a sacred responsibility, a trust given to us by the forces that gave our existence meaning and purpose. By accepting this responsibility and dedicating ourselves to consistently making choices that align with what is right and beneficial for all, we transcend the limitations of our physical existence. Choosing is a powerful act that allows us to shape our lives and make a difference in the world. It is through this deliberate decision-making that we can unlock our full potential as conscious people. It is important for us to remain vigilant and mindful of the weight and significance of our choices as we pursue our goals. Every decision we make and every path we choose has the potential to shape our lives and the world we live in. It is a significant responsibility, one that requires us to consider each decision with respect and modesty, understanding that our choices can either bring about positive change or continue cycles of suffering and stagnation. Despite the weight of this responsibility, we should also appreciate the freedom and empowerment that comes with the ability to determine our own paths in life. In this freedom, we find the true essence of our humanity. It is the source of our ability to make choices and shape our own destiny, setting us apart from mere instinct and predetermined outcomes. It's important to value and protect the gift of free will, and to use it wisely and ethically to pursue our highest goals and aspirations. Lesson 4. Your determination will determine your future. The concept of free will and its impact on our future is fundamental to our existence as self-aware beings. This idea encourages us to recognize the significant influence and accountability that comes with our ability to make choices. These choices not only affect our current situation, but also shape the direction of our lives. In order to fully grasp the significance of this truth, we need to first recognize the inseparable connection between free will and determination. Our ability to reason and make choices is what gives us the power to determine our own paths in life. Choosing a course of action and committing to it with unwavering resolve and steadfast commitment is what defines determination. Determination is not just a result of free will. It is a powerful force that strengthens our ability to shape our destinies through the choices we make. Determination is what fuels us and drives us forward, helping us overcome obstacles and persevere through challenges. Free will and determination are closely connected, representing different aspects of our existence that give us a strong sense of control and purpose. The seamless interaction of these two forces is what underlies our capacity to shape our own destinies and overcome the limitations of our circumstances. The ability to shape our destinies through our own choices and unwavering determination is not just a concept or abstract idea. It is a real force that shows itself in the countless decisions we make in our lives. Whether it's the small tasks we do every day, or the big decisions that shape our lives, we always have the chance to make choices and follow the paths we want. In these moments of decision and resolve, we have the ability to shape our own futures. The true significance of our free will and determination is revealed in the crucible of this power. Every goal and dream we pursue comes with its fair share of challenges and obstacles. Each one tests our resolve and determines whether our determination will be strengthened or broken. Achieving our goals is often a complex and challenging process, filled with obstacles, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty. In these moments, our free will and determination face their ultimate test. The temptation to surrender and succumb to complacency and resignation is strongest. It is this very capacity to persist, to delve into our inner selves, and discover the resilience to keep moving forward, that distinguishes those who accomplish their aspirations from those who only fantasize. Ultimately, our futures are not determined by external forces, but rather by our own choices and dedication to our goals and dreams. As we move forward on this journey, we are not only influencing our external circumstances, but also shaping our own identity. Our free will and determination go beyond being tools for achieving our goals. They are a reflection of our character, values, and innermost desires. Do we choose to be brave and resilient when faced with challenges? Or do we give in to fear and settle for mediocrity? Should we focus on personal growth and chasing our dreams? Or should we settle for a mediocre and comfortable life? By consistently exercising our free will and determination, we engage in a continuous process of fully committing to our chosen paths and overcoming challenges. This helps us develop the strength of character and moral fortitude that shape our identities. The choices we make and the determination to overcome obstacles are what truly define us, rather than just the results we achieve. It is about taking control of our lives and forging our own paths. However, the influence of our free will in decision-making goes well beyond our own personal experiences. Every goal we achieve and every dream we realize can have a ripple effect, touching the lives of others in profound and subtle ways. One act of perseverance or unwavering commitment has the power to inspire others and create positive change in our communities. On the other hand, if we lack determination and easily give in to complacency, it can negatively impact the lives of those around us, causing a cycle of stagnation and unfulfilled potential. Our free will and determination extends beyond the individual level and plays a crucial role in shaping our societies and the world as a whole. We are all connected, our lives intertwined by the choices we make and the consequences they bring. However, it's crucial to acknowledge that the forces that shape our free will are not limited resources or characteristics given to us by destiny or situation. Instead, our ability to make choices and take action is like a muscle that needs regular exercise and practice. It's a skill that gets better with experience and a strong commitment. We need to see the power of our free will as something we develop and strengthen through the choices we make and our ability to keep going when things get tough. Despite moments of doubt and uncertainty, we have the ability to recommit ourselves and tap into our inner strength to keep moving forward. This empowers us to shape our own destinies through the exercise of our free will. It's important to remember the conflicting forces within us, our drive to succeed and the temptation to give up and settle for mediocrity. This constant temptation, this allure of mediocrity, gives great importance to our free will and determination. The ability to shape our futures doesn't come from avoiding adversity, but from consistently resisting complacency and staying committed to our goals and dreams. This is how we build our character and determination. It is in this ongoing battle to align our efforts with our highest ideals that we develop the ability to use our free will to pursue our goals and shape our lives. Having the power to shape our own destinies through the choices we make is not just about personal goals or desires. It is a profound duty, a responsibility given to us by the very essence of our existence. By accepting this responsibility and dedicating ourselves to making choices and taking action to pursue our dreams and goals, we transcend mere physical existence. Choosing and persevering allows us to shape our lives and make a positive impact on the world. It helps us reach our full potential as self-aware people. It is important for us to always stay alert and aware of the importance of our free will and determination as we strive towards our goals. Every goal we work towards and every dream we chase has the potential to not only impact our own lives, but also shape the world we live in. It is a significant responsibility, requiring us to approach every choice and obstacle with respect and modesty. We must acknowledge that our ability to overcome challenges through our own willpower and determination can either bring about positive change or continue cycles of stagnation and unfulfilled potential. However, despite the weight of this duty, we must also acknowledge the freedom and empowerment that comes with the power to shape our own destinies. In this freedom, we find the core of our humanity. The ability to make choices and shape our own destiny, setting us apart from mere instinct and predetermined outcomes. It's important to value and protect the gift of free will, and to use it responsibly to pursue our highest ideals and aspirations. Ultimately, our identity and influence on the world are shaped by the balance between our choices and determination. Lesson 5. Your choices affect your heart as well as your heart affect your choices. The connection between our choices and our hearts is fundamental to our existence as self-aware beings. This idea encourages us to explore our inner selves, understand how our choices affect our emotional and spiritual well-being, and recognize the influence of our hearts on our decisions. In order to fully grasp the significance of this truth, it is necessary to first gain a clear understanding of the concept of free will. Our ability to reason, reflect, and make choices is what empowers us to shape our own destinies. Choosing our actions and committing to them gives our lives a deep sense of purpose and meaning. It's necessary to recognize that free will goes beyond being a purely intellectual exercise or a detached decision-making process. It is deeply connected to our emotional and spiritual selves, which are the sources of our values, desires, and motivations. And the depths of our hearts, the decisions we make take root and grow, influenced by our deepest desires and fears. Our hearts and our free will choices are closely connected, constantly affecting and being affected by each other. The decisions we make are influenced by the currents of our hearts, which have the ability to impact our emotional and spiritual well-being. The relationship between choice and emotion is not just a theoretical concept or philosophical idea. It's a real force that shows up in the many decisions and experiences that make up our lives. Our daily choices and life-changing decisions have a profound impact on who we become. Let's think about acts of kindness, which come from a place of compassion and empathy within us. At that moment of giving, we not only affect the people around us, but we also feel a sense of happiness and satisfaction within ourselves. This helps us to uphold our values and build our character. On the other hand, making a selfish or cruel choice that stems from greed or resentment can have a negative impact on our hearts. It can chip away at our self-esteem and leave us feeling doubtful and regretful, leading to emotional distress and spiritual unease. It is during these critical moments of decision and outcome that we observe the deep connection between our choices, emotions, and spiritual health. Every decision we make and every path we choose has the power to either nurture or harm our souls, shaping our identity and our perception of the world. However, the connection between choice and emotion is not a one-way street. Our decisions can impact our emotions just as our emotional and spiritual states can influence the choices we make. Our desires, motivations, and values are deeply rooted in our hearts, shaping the choices we make as we navigate life's complexities. When someone is consumed by fear or insecurity, their choices are often driven by a need for safety and self-preservation, even if it means missing out on personal growth or new opportunities. On the other hand, having a brave and confident heart can inspire us to make choices that push us out of our comfort zones and pursue paths that may be risky, but also offer great personal fulfillment and growth. Our hearts play a crucial role in guiding us through life's choices, helping us make decisions that align with our values and aspirations, while also warning us of paths that may lead us astray from our true selves. Our identities are shaped by the delicate balance between choice and emotion. It is through this interplay that we develop the strength of character and moral fortitude. The choices we make have a profound impact on who we become. It is through the act of choosing that we take control of our lives and navigate our own paths, all while staying connected to our inner selves. The connection between free will and the heart has a profound impact that reaches beyond our personal experiences. Every decision we make and every path we choose has the power to affect the lives of others, both in significant and subtle ways. One small act of kindness or generosity, coming from a place of compassion, has the power to inspire others and create a chain reaction of positivity in our communities. On the other hand, a decision driven by self-interest or cruelty, stemming from emotional or spiritual unrest, can have a negative impact on the people around us, causing ongoing pain and suffering. The connection between our choices and our hearts goes beyond just ourselves. It's a shared effort that influences our societies and the world as a whole. We are all connected, our lives intertwined by the choices we make, the emotions we feel, and the resulting consequences. However, it is crucial to acknowledge that our free will and the state of our hearts are not fixed and unchangeable, despite the importance and impact of this relationship. Instead, they are ever-changing influences that we can mold and nurture through the decisions we make and the adventures we pursue. Our choices have a profound impact on our emotional and spiritual well-being. By consciously nurturing our hearts and cultivating virtues like compassion, gratitude, and self-awareness, we can shape the decisions we make and the paths we choose to follow. We need to see the relationship between our choices and our hearts as a dynamic dance, constantly evolving and influenced by our actions and personal growth. Remember, the constant struggle between our deepest desires and the urge to give in to fear, doubt, or emotional turmoil. Our existence gains profound significance from the ongoing battle to align our choices with the highest ideals of our hearts. It is in this process, this continuous journey to find balance between our choices and our emotional and spiritual health, that we develop the wisdom and self-awareness needed to make uplifting decisions that positively impact both ourselves and the world. The ability to shape our lives and futures through our choices and emotions is not just about personal satisfaction or individual wants. It is a profound duty given to us by the higher powers that gave our lives meaning and direction. By taking on this responsibility and dedicating ourselves to making choices and taking care of our emotional and spiritual health, we rise above mere physical existence. Choosing and developing our inner selves, intentionally shaping our lives and the impact we have on the world, allows us to unlock our full potential as self-aware people. It is important for us to always be watchful and aware of the impact of our decisions and the condition of our emotions as we strive towards our goals. Every decision we make has the potential to shape our lives and the world we live in. It is important to approach every choice and opportunity for self-reflection and emotional growth with respect and humility. We should recognize that our ability to align our free will and our hearts can either bring positivity and upliftment or contribute to cycles of suffering and emotional turmoil. Despite the weight of this responsibility, we should also appreciate the freedom and empowerment that comes with being able to shape our lives and futures through our own choices and emotions. In this freedom, we find the core of our humanity. The ability to make choices and shape our own destiny, setting us apart from mere instinct and predetermined outcomes. It's important to value and take care of the gift of free will. We should strive to make choices that align with our values and aspirations, while also listening to our inner voice. Ultimately, our choices and our hearts work together to shape our identity and influence the world. Our deliberate decisions and emotional and spiritual well-being define who we are and the impact we make. Lesson 6. Train ourselves to choose the right thing. Few pursuits carry as much weight as the journey to learn how to make the right choices in life. Our choices shape our character and determine the course of our lives. Embarking on this journey means accepting the sacred responsibility that comes with free will and dedicating ourselves to constantly aligning our decisions with the highest ideals of virtue, wisdom, and moral rectitude. The heart of this important endeavor is a basic truth. Our choices are not random or individual moments of decision-making, but rather the result of an intricate combination of our beliefs, values, and emotions. In order to effectively learn how to make better choices, we need to start by exploring our own selves. This involves delving into our deepest motivations and impulses that influence our behavior. The process of self-reflection goes beyond just thinking. It's a deep emotional and spiritual awakening. It's in our hearts and souls where our choices truly begin. By developing a clear understanding of our fears, desires, and aspirations, we can start unraveling the complex factors that influence our decision-making and shape our destinies. However, embarking on the journey of self-discovery is just the beginning of a path that requires strong dedication and a readiness to face the inner conflicts that exist within each of us. We have the ability to choose righteousness and virtue, but we also face the constant temptation to give in to selfish desires, fear, and complacency. The challenge of training ourselves to make the right choices is revealed in the constant struggle between our higher aspirations and our baser impulses. To truly grasp the factors that influence our choices, we need more than just comprehension. We must develop inner strength, moral courage, and unwavering determination to resist the temptation of taking the easy route. Instead, we must dedicate ourselves to the challenging task of aligning our decisions with the highest ethical standards and personal values. This endeavor is not just about intellectual pursuit, but rather a deep exploration of ourselves. It's a constant struggle to overcome fear, doubt, and selfishness that can distract us from doing what's right. It's a journey that requires us to face our own flaws and vulnerabilities and build the bravery and self-awareness to admit when we veered off track. Despite the difficulties involved, the benefits of this pursuit are invaluable. By learning to make the right choices, we are not only shaping our external circumstances, but also molding our core as people. Every decision we make, whether it's choosing virtue over vice or showing compassion instead of indifference, contributes to shaping our character and determining the impact we will have on the world. Additionally, the impact of our decisions reaches far beyond our own lives, affecting numerous people in both obvious and subtle ways. Performing a kind act can have a powerful impact on others and create a ripple effect of positivity in our communities. On the other hand, a decision driven by self-centeredness or unkindness can have a negative impact on the world, causing ongoing pain and suffering. Choosing the right things is not just a personal task, but a sacred duty. It is our responsibility to ourselves, those around us, and the world we live in. We are all connected, our lives intertwined by the choices we make and the resulting consequences. However, this pursuit requires serious dedication and a long-term commitment. Training ourselves to make the right choices is a lifelong journey that requires constant self-examination, course correction, and a willingness to embrace discomfort for personal growth and transformation. Like a sculptor, chiseling away at marble to reveal a masterpiece, we must constantly refine our decision-making processes to discern the right path amidst countless temptations and distractions. The journey towards mastery requires patience, perseverance, and a strong commitment to our highest ideals. It is a long and challenging road filled with obstacles. There will be times when we may doubt ourselves, when we are tempted by the allure of taking the easy path. These moments will test our resolve. However, it is during these challenging moments, these tests of our abilities, that the importance of training ourselves to make wise choices becomes evident. In times of hardship, our character is shaped, our values are reaffirmed, and our determination to do what is right is strengthened. As we face these challenges, we need to stay alert to the constant risk of complacency. It's tempting to think we've reached our goal and have become experts at making the right choices. This false sense of security can hinder our growth by making us believe that we have already achieved everything we need. It prevents us from recognizing the importance of continuous self-improvement and the ongoing journey that awaits us. Instead, we should adopt a mindset of continuous learning, being open to questioning our assumptions, challenging our biases, and recognizing that there is always more to learn, grow, and gain wisdom from. The journey of learning to make good choices is not straightforward, but rather a complex maze of twists and turns. Each new discovery brings new insights and self-awareness. It's a journey that requires humility, acknowledging that we are all constantly evolving, and that the pursuit of mastery is an ongoing quest, rather than a final destination. As we navigate through challenges, it's important to face our failures and mistakes directly. These moments of stumbling provide us with valuable chances to grow and transform. Instead of avoiding our mistakes or trying to defend our bad decisions, we should welcome them as chances to reflect on ourselves, using them to gain a better understanding and a stronger dedication to our core values. Failure serves as a reminder of our own imperfections and helps us develop empathy and compassion towards others who face their own challenges. Lesson 7. Hating requires strength, and so does loving. Few things have the power and intensity of hatred and love in the realm of human emotion. Despite their fundamental differences, these two powerful states both demand a significant amount of inner strength to cultivate and maintain. Truly hating or truly loving requires embarking on a challenging journey that demands unwavering resolve, confronting deep fears and insecurities, and persevering through inevitable challenges. At first glance, hatred may appear to be the easiest option, a basic reaction driven by fear, anger, and a limited comprehension. However, keeping a constant state of hatred and actively fueling resentment and animosity takes a significant amount of psychological and emotional energy. It requires a consistent awareness and ongoing effort to suppress our natural inclination towards empathy and compassion, and to consistently build walls of prejudice and contempt that keep us apart from those we dislike. Furthermore, hatred has a destructive power that can gradually erode the very essence of our humanity if it remains unaddressed. In order to maintain it, one must choose to hold on to bitterness and resentment, deliberately nurturing negative emotions that can ultimately skew our outlook and hinder our ability to appreciate the inherent value and dignity of those who differ from us. However, even with the risks and disadvantages of hatred, there are people who willingly embrace this destructive path, deriving a twisted sense of control or affirmation from nurturing their animosity and resentment. For these people, hatred serves as a defense mechanism to protect themselves from feeling vulnerable and as a means to establish power and control over those they view as enemies or rivals. However, love also necessitates a significant amount of inner strength, resolve, and perseverance, just like hatred does. Love, at its core, is far more than a temporary feeling or a passing interest. Choosing vulnerability, empathy, and selfless devotion is a profound decision, even when faced with great risk and uncertainty. Loving someone fully means being willing to experience pain and heartache, as well as exposing our most vulnerable selves and trusting another person with them. Embracing genuine connection and intimacy requires courage and willingness to let go of self-interest and ego, while accepting the risks and uncertainties that come with it. Additionally, love requires a strong reserve of patience and determination, as even the strongest connections are put to the test by the ups and downs of life. The unavoidable obstacles and disagreements that come with intertwining two souls. In order to navigate through these challenges and come out stronger, it takes a unique combination of resilience and dedication. Despite the effort and sacrifice required by love, the rewards it brings are truly extraordinary. Loving is a profound experience that connects us to the essence of our humanity, allowing us to transcend our humanity, allowing us to transcend our individual lives and connect with something greater. Love possesses the remarkable ability to heal wounds, mend broken hearts, and bridge the divides that separate us from one another. It allows us to rise above our differences, to see beyond the surface, level divisions of race, creed, or ideology, and to acknowledge the inherent value and worth that exists within every individual. Love goes beyond being a personal endeavor. It is a collective pursuit that can help us build a world that is fair, kind, and in line with our highest human potential. Love also requires a strong and unwavering commitment, a willingness to put in the effort to develop empathy, compassion, and understanding, even when faced with difficult situations and obstacles. Those who choose to walk the path of love must be ready to face their own shadows. They need to recognize and address the biases, prejudices, and insecurities that exist within them. It is important to actively work towards dismantling these negative aspects, as they can become a source of resentment and bitterness that can harm the foundations of love. To achieve our goals, we need to be open to self-reflection and personal growth. It's important to acknowledge our limitations and imperfections, which can often fuel negative emotions like hatred and resentment. Instead, we should strive to cultivate empathy, compassion, and understanding, even when we feel insecure or inadequate. However, when it comes to love, there are certain challenges and risks that we need to be aware of. When we love someone, we expose ourselves to the potential for pain, heartbreak, and disappointment. However, it is through our openness to vulnerability and our willingness to expose our deepest emotions that we discover the inner strength and resilience needed to genuinely love ourselves and those around us. By engaging in acts of love, we have the power to enhance our own lives and the lives of those around us. Additionally, we play a part in breaking down the barriers that separate us, creating a path towards a more equitable, empathetic, and harmonious world. Choosing to love not only enhances our own lives and the lives of those around us, but also helps break down the barriers that separate us. This paves the way for a more just, compassionate, and aligned world, in line with our highest human potential. Despite the dangers and difficulties of love, hatred possesses a twisted strength and influence, a destructive and harmful energy that can gradually undermine our humanity if not controlled. Hatred is not just a temporary feeling or a reaction to circumstances. It is a deliberate choice to hold on to bitterness and resentment, to reject empathy and understanding, and to build walls of prejudice and contempt that divide us from those we dislike. Love and hatred both require a significant amount of energy to maintain. Hatred specifically requires a constant effort to ignore reason and empathy, which encourage reconciliation and forgiveness. In our pursuit, we frequently encounter the harmful effects of hatred. It brings suffering and pain when people choose to embrace their dark side, giving in to bitterness and cruelty. This leads to cycles of violence and atrocity that can negatively impact the lives of many. Despite the potential dangers and risks of hatred, there is a strange strength and power that comes from embracing it. It can provide a sense of validation and control when we nurture resentment and contempt. This strength can be incredibly tempting to those who have been wronged or marginalized, as it goes against the natural human inclination towards empathy and understanding. It has a seductive allure for those who have felt inferior or powerless. However, the path of love necessitates patience and perseverance, while the path of hatred requires a continuous effort to nurture and maintain resentment and animosity. It also demands constant vigilance against our natural inclination towards forgiveness and reconciliation. In this never-ending struggle, we see the incredible power of the human spirit to withstand and flourish, despite overwhelming challenges and uncertainty. Lesson 8. Happiness is only attained by the free will agreeing in its freedom to accord with the will of God. Few pursuits in life are as important as the search for true happiness. This journey has fascinated philosophers, theologians, and seekers throughout history, as they strive to uncover the secrets of lasting fulfillment and contentment. However, among the many paths and philosophies that claim to bring us to this desired state, there is a simple truth. True happiness is only achieved when our free will aligns with the will of the divine. In order to fully grasp this truth, we need to first have a clear understanding of the concept of free will. It's fascinating how we possess a unique ability to make choices and act independently, defying the predictable patterns of the universe. We have the ability to think, reflect, and make decisions that influence our lives, going beyond the limitations of our circumstances and destiny. Our freedom to make choices and go against predetermined paths gives our existence a deep sense of purpose and meaning. Without free will, our lives would be reduced to a predetermined sequence of events, lacking any real agency or consequence. lacking any real agency or consequence. However, while free will is indeed profound and empowering, it also has its drawbacks. The freedom to choose brings with it the potential for making poor choices and being tempted by selfish desires and base impulses that can steer us away from true fulfillment and contentment. The challenge of finding happiness lies in the constant struggle between our desires and the right choices. It's about aligning our free will with what is right. True happiness is not something that comes and goes quickly. It is a deep and lasting feeling of inner peace and harmony. This state of being can only be reached when we make choices and take actions that align with the highest principles of virtue, wisdom, and spiritual truth. Embarking on the journey of aligning our free will with the will of God is a significant endeavor. It requires a strong sense of bravery and determination, a readiness to face our inner demons and commit to the challenging process of introspection and self-improvement. Our choices are influenced by the depths of our hearts and minds, where our fears, desires, and aspirations reside. By developing a clear comprehension of these fundamental motivations and impulses, we can unravel the complex network of influences that shape our choices and, in the end, our capacity to achieve long-term happiness. This pursuit goes beyond intellectual exercises and theoretical explorations of philosophical concepts. It involves fully immersing ourselves in understanding our own essence and constantly striving to overcome fear, doubt, and selfishness that can hinder our journey towards righteousness and spiritual alignment. In this battle, it's important to recognize our own shortcomings and weaknesses. We need to admit when we've veered off track from what is right and muster the courage and humility to make the necessary changes. We must align our choices and actions with the highest principles of spiritual truth and moral rectitude. However, despite the difficulties and sacrifices involved in this journey, the rewards are truly remarkable. When we align our free will with the will of God, we discover a deep sense of peace and contentment that goes beyond temporary pleasures and material pursuits. It's a state of being that gives our lives purpose and meaning beyond ourselves, acknowledging that we are connected to something greater through divine wisdom and universal truth. In this alignment, we gain the strength and resilience to overcome the challenges and adversities that come our way. We find comfort in knowing that our choices and actions are guided by a higher purpose and a greater plan that goes beyond what we can fully comprehend. Aligning our free will with the will of God is not just something we do for ourselves, but it is also a sacred duty that we have towards ourselves, those around us, and the world we live in. We are all connected, our lives intertwined by the choices we make and the resulting consequences. By embracing this responsibility and dedicating ourselves to aligning our spiritual path with the divine, we not only improve our own lives and cultivate lasting happiness within ourselves, but we also make a positive impact on the world around us. Every act of virtue, every choice based on spiritual truth and moral rectitude, has the ability to impact the lives of others, both visibly and invisibly. One small act of kindness or compassion, coming from a heart in tune with God's will, has the power to inspire and uplift others, setting off a ripple effect of positivity in our communities. On the other hand, every act of selfishness or disharmony, every decision that deviates from the path of divine accord, can create negative consequences and disillusionment, continuing cycles of suffering and discontentment that can affect the world. The pursuit of true happiness involves aligning our free will with the will of God. It's not just a personal endeavor, but a sacred calling, By doing so, we can contribute to creating a world that is more just, compassionate, and aligned with the highest ideals of human potential and divine truth. However, embarking on this journey requires serious dedication and a long-term commitment. Attaining happiness by aligning our free will with the divine will is a lifelong journey that requires self-reflection, making adjustments, and being open to the challenges that come with personal growth and change. Like a sculptor chiseling away at marble to reveal a masterpiece, we must constantly refine our decision-making processes. This means improving our ability to discern the path of spiritual truth and divine accord, amidst the many temptations and distractions that compete for our attention. The journey towards true happiness and spiritual alignment can be challenging and requires patience, perseverance, and a strong commitment to our highest ideals. There may be moments of uncertainty, occasions when the appeal of taking the simpler route appears very tempting, and it is during these challenging times that our determination will be put to the test. However, it is during these challenging moments, when we face trials and difficulties, that the importance of aligning our free will with the will of God becomes evident. In times of hardship, our character is shaped, our values are reaffirmed, and our determination to stay true to our principles is strengthened. As we face these challenges, it's important to stay aware of the constant danger of complacency. It's tempting to think we've reached our goal and have perfected the balance between our own choices and the higher powers. Instead, we should adopt a mindset of continuous learning, being open to questioning our assumptions, challenging our biases, and recognizing that there is always more to learn, grow, and gain spiritual wisdom and understanding. The path to true happiness is not a straight line, but rather a complex journey of self-discovery and growth. Each new revelation brings us closer to lasting contentment and inner peace. Lesson 9. We must be wise in our actions because there are risks and consequences. Few things in human existence are as significant and impactful as the freedom of choice. It is a magnificent ability to exercise our will, contemplate and consider, and finally make decisions that determine the paths of our lives. However, the great power we possess to determine our own paths and shape our futures through the test of free will is closely connected to a serious duty, the obligation to make decisions with intelligence, anticipation, and a profound comprehension of the hazards and outcomes that come with our hours and outcomes that come with our choices. Each decision we make and each route we choose to pursue has a profound impact that reaches well beyond the confines of our personal existence. Our activities have a ripple effect, similar to throwing pebbles into a calm pond. These actions create consequences that spread outward, affecting the lives of others and creating the world we live in. The tremendous interconnectivity and intricate cause and effect relationships that connect us all require us to approach the exercise of our free will with a strong feeling of reverence and responsibility. When we make choices, we are not only determining our own futures, but also adding to the whole fabric of human existence. We are creating connections that will impact the lives of many. In order to fully grasp the magnitude of this obligation, we must first know the essence of free choice. It is an extraordinary deviation in a cosmos regulated by natural laws and predefined forces, a source of initiative that raises us beyond the domain of basic instinct and response. Free will grants us the ability to engage in rational thinking, contemplation, and eventually make decisions that go beyond the limitations imposed by our circumstances and destiny. The freedom to express our will independently of predefined routes gives our existence a deep sense of purpose and significance. Without free will, our lives would be reduced to a predestined series of occurrences, lacking any real ability to make significant choices or experience meaningful outcomes. However, while free will can be deep and empowering, it also carries a potential downside. The freedom to make choices comes with the inherent danger of making unwise decisions, giving in to immediate desires and impulsive instincts that can divert us from the path of wisdom and foresight. The actual challenge of exercising our free will with wisdom and moderation is apparent in the ongoing conflict between our higher objectives and the temptation of immediate enjoyment. Each decision we make and each path we choose to follow presents a variety of potential outcomes, each with its own distinct set of risks and repercussions. Contemplate the decision to embark on a specific career trajectory, for example. Although the prospect of achieving financial security and professional satisfaction is appealing, making this decision also entails certain hazards, such as the potential for working long hours, making personal sacrifices, and experiencing burnout or disillusionment. On the other hand, choosing to focus on personal development or artistic endeavors can bring the potential for artistic satisfaction, but it also comes with the dangers of financial instability and societal expectations. Alternatively, contemplate the decision to engage in a love relationship. Although the idea of love and companionship may seem attractive, it also comes with the possibility of heartbreak, emotional distress, and the difficulty of managing the intricate balance of compromise and sacrifice that any healthy relationship requires. In every one of these options, as well as numerous others that shape the fabric of our existence, we encounter a subtle equilibrium, a continuous evaluation of possible benefits, these possible hazards, a thoughtful consideration of the repercussions that may extend from our decisions. The actual worth of knowledge and foresight is unveiled in the process of making decisions and navigating the dangers and consequences that come with exercising our free will. Acting with wisdom involves more than simply making choices based on our immediate desires or short-term satisfaction. It requires developing the capacity to anticipate and navigate the long-term consequences of our actions, as well as considering the potential ripple effects that may extend well beyond our own lives. The pursuit of wisdom is not just an intellectual activity or a theoretical examination of philosophical ideas. It is a deep dive into the core of our existence, a continuous struggle to control our impulsive and short-sighted tendencies that frequently jeopardize our ability to make wise decisions. In this conflict, it is crucial for us to address our own limitations and vulnerabilities, to recognize the underlying prejudices and areas of ignorance that might obscure our ability to make sound decisions, which could ultimately harm ourselves and those in our vicinity. The path of wisdom is rarely characterized by straightforward answers or uncomplicated solutions. Instead, it is a convoluted and intricate maze, where the outcomes of our decisions often unravel in ways that are difficult to predict or understand. The journey requires humility, acknowledging the inherent limitations of our understanding, and recognizing that genuine wisdom comes from being receptive to new viewpoints, continuously challenging our preconceptions and approaching each decision with respect and prudence. Despite the difficulties and sacrifices involved in the quest of wisdom, the rewards are genuinely extraordinary. By exercising our free will with forethought and prudence, we not only influence our own lives, but also contribute to improving the world. Every decision we make, every course we pursue with sagacity and caution, possesses the ability to propagate outward, impacting the lives of others in both profound and nuanced manners. An individual act of benevolence or magnanimity, originating from a compassionate and perceptive mindset regarding the potential ramifications of our behavior, has the power to motivate and elevate people in our vicinity, initiating a sequence of positive events that resonates across our societies. On the other hand, every act of myopia or impulsiveness, every decision made without considering the possible dangers and outcomes, has the ability to create negative and disillusioning effects, continuing cycles of pain and remorse that can ruin the lives of those in our vicinity. The pursuit of wisdom through the exercise of our free will is not just a personal endeavor, but a sacred calling. It is a way for us to contribute to the gradual development of a world that is fairer, more compassionate, and more in line with the highest ideals of human potential and moral integrity. However, embarking on the path to wisdom requires a serious and enduring dedication. Embracing the responsibility that comes with our freedom of choice involves developing the ability to foresee and make wise decisions and committing to a lifelong journey of self-reflection, adjusting our path as needed, and being open to the discomfort that accompanies personal growth and change. Similar to how a sculptor must persistently chip away at the marble to uncover the hidden masterpiece, we must consistently improve our decision-making processes, sharpening our capacity to distinguish the wise and fair-sided path from the numerous temptations and distractions that compete for our focus. This journey requires patience, determination, and a steadfast dedication to our highest principles, as the path to genuine insight is lengthy and filled with challenges. There will be instances of uncertainty, occasions when the attraction of the effortless route appears highly alluring, and it is during these challenging situations that our determination will be put to the test. However, it is only during these challenging occasions, these tests of our abilities, that the genuine significance of utilizing our freedom of choice with sagacity and caution becomes evident. Adversity is the crucible in which our character is shaped, our moral compass adjusted, and our determination to follow the road of righteousness and foresight is strengthened. While facing these challenges, we must be cautious about becoming complacent. It is important to recognize that we may mistakenly believe that we have become experts in making wise decisions, and that we are invulnerable to the potential risks and consequences of our choices. Rather than resisting, we should adopt a mentality of continuous learning, being ready to consistently scrutinize our beliefs, confront our prejudices, and maintain receptiveness to the notion that there is perpetually more to uncover. Further progress to attain and deeper levels of sagacity and foresight to explore. The process of using our free will wisely and cautiously is not a straightforward journey, but rather a complex and intricate one with many unexpected changes. Each new realization brings about new opportunities for comprehension and self-awareness, leading us closer to the source of insight and moral understanding. In our relentless quest for progress and change, we will discover the genuine extent of our human nature, the profoundness of our knowledge, and the way to create a world that is fairer, more empathetic, and more in line with the greatest aspirations of human capability. Final lesson: choice of free will. The concept of free will is not just a philosophical theory or a vague concept. It is a dynamic and pervasive force that influences all part of our lives. Through every choice and resolution, we are intricately interlacing strands into the fabric of our existence, actively shaping the progression of a society that has the potential to either rise towards heightened enlightenment or decline into intensifying obscurity. The pursuit of utilizing our autonomy for the betterment of society is a challenging endeavor. It requires continuous attentiveness, a readiness to acknowledge our own prejudices and restrictions, and a steadfast dedication to matching our decisions with the utmost ideals of moral excellence, sagacity, and spiritual veracity. The trip is filled with temptations and challenges, as well as moments of uncertainty and struggle that will challenge our determination to the fullest extent. However, it is specifically in these challenging situations that the genuine importance of using our freedom of choice to benefit the common good becomes evident. By actively selecting righteousness instead of complacency, compassion rather than indifference, and courage over fear, we establish the fundamental principles of our character and play a role in the gradual development of a world that is fairer, more affectionate, and more in line with the loftiest aspirations of human capability. As we emerge from the contents of this book, let us retain the knowledge and wisdom we have acquired, recognizing that our ability to make choices is not solely a personal concern, but a revered obligation that reaches beyond the limits of our own existence.